Hi students, welcome back to our English class. We are discussing about the story Adventures in a Banyan Tree by Ruskin Bond, a story about a young boy who enjoys nature closely while sitting in a banyan tree. One April afternoon, the boy saw a fight between cobra and mongoose, a battle of champions. They came face to face. The other viewers were a crow and a myna. Let's see what happened then. The cobra stood carefully to avoid possible dangers, swaying slowly from side to side, trying to capture the attention of the mongoose into making a false move. But the mongoose knew the power of his enemy's glassy, unwinking eyes. So the mongoose refused to look at the eyes of cobra. Instead, he fixed his eyes at a point just below the cobra's hood and opened the attack. The mongoose moved forward quickly until he reached near the cobra. He made a false movement to one side. Immediately the cobra struck. His great hood came down so swiftly. The boy thought that nothing could save the mongoose, but the little fellow jumped neatly to one side and moved as fast as the cobra, biting on the back, and moved away from the cobra. The moment the cobra struck, the crow and the myna threw themselves at him, but they only to collide heavily in midair. Crying aloud, they returned to the cactus plant. A few drops of blood shone glowing on the cobra's back. The cobra struck again and missed. Again, the mongoose moved aside, jumped in, and bit. Again, the birds dived at the snake, collided each other, and returned, crying aloud to the safety of the cactus. The third round of the fight followed the same course as the first, but with one dramatic difference. The crow and myna were determined and decided to take part in the fight, so they dived at the cobra again. But this time they did not collide each other and also missed their aim. The myna flew on and reached its perch, but crow tried to pull up in mid-air and turned back. At the same moment, the cobra moved his head back and struck with great force, his snout falling heavily with a sound against the crow's body. Then the crow flung nearly 20 feet across the garden. After fluttering about for a while, it lay still. The myna remained on the cactus plant. Very wisely, it stopped itself from interfering again. The cobra was weakening, and the mongoose, walking without fear up to it, raised himself on his short legs and with lightning snap had the big snake by the snout. The cobra writhed and lashed about in a frightening manner and even coiled itself about the mongoose. But there is no use. The little fellow bit strongly until the snake stopped its struggle. He then smelled along its shaking or trampling length and firmly hold it round the hood, then dragged into the bushes. The myna moved carefully towards the ground, hopped about, and looked into the bushes from a safe distance, and flew away with a loud cry of congratulations. The boy climbed down carefully from the tree and returned to the house. He told grandfather of the fight he had seen. The grandfather was pleased that the mongoose had won. He encouraged it to live in the garden to keep away the snakes. He fed the mongoose regularly with kitchen scraps. He had never tried taming it because wild mongoose was more useful than a domesticated one. Students, here ends the fighting scene between the cobra and the mongoose. Now, take your textbook and read it thoroughly. Thank you.